Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Wanda. This is Diaspora Connect. Thank you so much for tuning in. I decided to do a video today because I wanted to talk about some things that can help you when moving to Africa. Skills that will assist you and help you in deciding to move to Africa, to visit Africa. This is from a perspective of a foreigner or someone born in the West and you want to repatriate, visit, or whatever to Africa. Visit, repatriate, do business in Africa. So the name of this video, or the things I'm going to discuss in this video, is entitled The Negotiation Strategies That You May Need When Deciding That You Want to, visit, repatriate here to Africa and or do business. The name of this channel is Diaspora Connect Tanzania. I was born and raised in America, so I'm an American citizen, and I moved and relocated to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania back in 2020. And I've been here since then. I haven't been back yet to America. I've been living in Tanzania for 4.5 years this year, and so all is well. But I wanted to share some strategies that you could understand and utilize when you come to Africa, and that's any African country. On the continent of Africa, there are around 54 countries, so whichever one you decide to go to, these skills could possibly be helpful for you in negotiating, because when you come outside of the West, the way that you negotiate when you purchase things and when you move around and do all types of business and all that is a lot different from how the things are done in the West, even with negotiations. Most of the things here on the continent are negotiable. Some prices are set. Certain, restaurants and certain grocery stores, the prices are set for those places. Outside of that, a lot of the items that you will be purchasing, and especially items, are negotiable, especially if you're shopping like at markets or local vendors, fruit stands, etc. All that stuff is negotiable. So you need to have an idea of how to kind of negotiate. So the name of this video is Negotiating Strategies, and to maximize your outcome. So let me go ahead and put my glasses on, because I got some notes in my phone here. And so I'll be kind of looking at my phone, and because I took a few notes, and there are some, these strategies can be very beneficial to you when coming here. You must understand that you have the money. That's the first thing. So that being the case, you do have some leverage. So you want to understand the value of your money and who you are outside of, what you're trying to purchase. And the fact of the matter is you're coming here with US dollars. And so the value of the US currency still here in Tanzania is pretty good. For every $1 US, it's about 2,000, but it fluctuates. It's about 2,700, 2,500. It fluctuates. So it's around, I say 2,500 for every for every $1 US. The T shilling is 2,500 for every $1 US, and it fluctuates. So just get your currency conversion app and go online and you can check. So the purpose of this video is to have you to understand how to use leverage in negotiations when you decide that you want to, live here, visit, do business. The fact of the matter is you do have some leverage because you have the money, right? You have the money, so you're spending your money for certain goods and services. So when you go to purchase a phone, or you want to purchase some kind of a washing machine or a stove or a refrigerator or whatever, unless you go to like the mall or you go to like a set store like Shoppers grocery store, that price is going to be set. So you can't negotiate that. But if you go to the markets, they have a big market here, Kariako, or Kariakou market. A lot of people shop at those markets. And so if you decide to go to a market like that and you want to purchase a big ticket item or just any item, if you want to get a table, chairs, a couch, a bed, all that stuff you can negotiate, but in the process of negotiating, you have to remember how valuable you are. You have the US dollars. You're not at the mercy of vendors. You're not at the mercy of others in the fact that you can say no. You can walk away. You can decide if you want to spend money on a specific item and spend a certain amount on a specific item. You decide that before you give your money. And then that being the case, when you're negotiating, you have to be willing to walk away. You have to be willing to say, no, thank you. You have to be all right with that. If the price is not what you are willing to pay for it. So of course you have to do a little bit of research to find out what the price should be from a local here. I mean, I understand that a lot of us coming from the West, specifically, I'm talking about America, but generally the West, we don't speak Swahili as fluently as the locals. We don't know Swahili like that. Even if we take classes and even if we learn it, we still won't be as fluent in it. So that it'll still be obvious that we're not from, Tanzania, right? So that being the case, it does not limit you from being able to effectively or efficiently use your negotiation skills to negotiate good prices for yourself. Yes, there is a language barrier, but you also have to know that if you're coming to a country and the main language is not English and it's another language like Kiswahili, for example, here in Tanzania, what should you do? What should you do? How can you communicate without, especially if you don't have a local? You would get what? Google Translate, right? You would get the Google Translate app. So anything that you type in English, it converts it to Swahili. Anything you put in Swahili, you can convert it to English and back and forth. So that should be one of the first things you decide to download onto your smartphone, as well as your Uber app. So if you're coming to a country like Tanzania, primarily they speak Swahili. Yes, in the airport, you have a lot of people that understand English. You have a lot of drivers. So that part, landing, you'll be okay, getting a driver and all that. But you need to start right there with your negotiation skills. So if someone helps you with your luggage and takes it, to your driver, you have to decide what you want to pay that person. You don't know the currency as much as you should, but that should not be an excuse. If you're coming to Tanzania, you should at least have researched, and it's something I didn't do. But you should at least understand the currency, in that the currency conversion for one USD about 2,500 T shillings. So you need to know that conversion. So if you're at the airport and you come in and someone helps you and you want to bless them, you want to give them a tip for helping you, you have to know how much to give them. You can't give them, you can, but it's not wise, put it that way, to give them what you would tip someone in America because of the currency conversion rate. So you personally have to take accountability for your the way that you spend your money and the way that you budget your money. And so this is something that a lot of us don't always think about when we come here to Tanzania or any African country for that matter. You got to understand the currency conversion. Now, you don't have to memorize any of this stuff because all these are apps on your phone. You can get a currency conversion app, or you can go to Google and put the amount in there. What I did is I just used my calculator, and I'll just, if I have US dollars, I will divide 2,500 into it. And if I need to know how much T shillings, I'll just multiply. So I'll either divide or I'll either multiply by 2,500. If I want to know how much $200 is in T shillings, I'll multiply 2,500 by $200 and I'll get the T shilling. And if I want to know how much a T shilling is convert it to USD, I'll divide 2,500 into that, and it'll get the USD. So I just do it that way. I use my calculator, and I just either divide or multiply. But when you're kind of new here, you can just you have the currency conversion app, or go to Google currency conversion, and just put the US dollars. How much is this? So it's no reason to be not knowledgeable or clueless about the money that you're spending when you come to a foreign country. Whatever country you decide to go to, you can do this across Africa. Just find out what the currency conversion rate is from the US dollar to whatever that currency is, the Kenya shilling or the South African rand, or wherever you go. You just find out the Zambian kwacha. You just find out what the currency conversion rate is of the USD in that country. You start that out before as soon as you get there, because once you get there, you start to spend money. You're going to need a driver. You're going to need transportation. The good thing for Tanzania, I always recommend people just to use the Uber app, because the amount is regulated. So when you get a driver, you can select from a motorcycle, a bajaji. That's the three-wheeler cart looking, tuk-tuk. You can get a car, or you can get a SUV. So those are the options, and then they have the prices over there, but they're in T shillings. So you must know what that conversion rate will be in US dollars. So you still need to use your app to convert. So if you start off like this is starting, getting your mind conditioned to start converting your US dollars to T shillings. Even when you go to the ATM, you must know how much you want in US dollars, because most of the ATMs are in T shillings. They're not in US dollars. They're in English, so you can select English or Swahili at the ATM, but they're going to give you the money selection in T shillings. So you have to have your your currency converter ready, so you can say, oh, all I want to do, I want to get $100, I want to get $50. You put it in your currency conversion app. How much is for 50 USD? How much T shillings is that? Once you find out, then you put that in the ATM. So these are things that you have to know in your mind, that this is a tool that you're going to have to use. And that's the start of your thinking in terms of another currency outside the US dollars, because you don't always want to come to a foreign country with a different currency and think in US dollars, because if you do, then you can actually be overcharged, because you're thinking and comparing to a value that's higher than what that currency is. So you want to try to condition your mind to think on the currency in this country, whatever country you decide to go to. So, and that's the same thing for negotiating. If you want to go out and buy a blender, if you want to, unless you go to the mall, if you go to stores that have set prices, these prices are set and they're for everyone, then, you can't negotiate that. Like, the mall or Shoppers or certain high-end stores, or I would say most of the stores owned by foreigners are set. The prices are set. They don't always do the charging more because you speak English. I noticed that here in Tanzania, most of the places that charge you more because you speak English are local businesses, or it could be a foreign company that a local person is working for. So it's always kind of like a money grab, always trying to get more for for that service. So you have to be aware of that as the foreigner, and as the one that doesn't know how things work. This is why I'm here, to try to explain to you how your mindset has to be when it comes to negotiating prices that you're able to negotiate. So if you go into a fruit stand and you want some vegetables, you have to know or have an idea of how much a local is charged. But if you don't, then you can ask like, Shingapi, you can ask Like, how much is this? And before you start just getting a whole bunch of stuff and spending it, even if you have money and they overcharge you, for example, at the fruit stand, it's not going to really affect you, or you're not going to really feel it because you feel like, oh, that's a good deal. But over time, if you're planning on living here, or if you're planning on being here for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and you have a budget, then that can affect your budget. It can impact your budget over that 2 weeks. If you want to spend money for certain activities. So if you want to go on a safari, or if you want to go out to eat at certain restaurants, or have certain activities that you want to do, go to Zanzibar, whatever you want to do, you want to save your money for those things, right? You want to save the money for the activities that you want to participate in, especially if you have a budget, right? And a lot of people have a kind of a budget. Now, if you have money, you don't have a budget, then you don't have to worry about any of these negotiation skills. You could just do whatever, spend whatever. You don't have to think about it, right? But most people that I know that decide that they want to visit or repatriate, they have a budget that they're working with. So most middle class people have a budget. So even though the prices are cheaper here, they want to, they're kind of budget conscious. At least they don't want to be like taken for a ride. That's what I mean. So even if you are overcharged at like a fruit stand, that's not going to hurt you, harm you, but over time it will affect your budget. So for me, and all of this is coming from personal experience, right? Being here, living here 4.5 years, I've learned this, and I've experienced this personally. And so if I would say, if I could go back and if I knew then when I first got here what I know now, then I would have saved more. I would have made different decisions and spent money on different things, So I'm just sharing it with you. So if you are deciding to come not only to Tanzania, but any African country, these skills will be beneficial for you no matter where you go. You have to always be financially conscious, even if you have money to burn. You want to spend it on the things that you have to spend it on. But for the little things you don't have to be overcharged for, you can negotiate those things. So if you go buy something, maybe not fruit, but maybe if you want to go buy something for a phone or some kind of technology, that's kind of a large ticket item, a phone or a droid, and a drone or something like that, or a computer or something. Now the computers, they may be not negotiable because a lot of the foreigners are there with the technology in those stores, and then they don't always want to negotiate. But you can try. It won't hurt to try and say, if you ask like the price on the computer, and then they say a certain amount, then you can try to negotiate and say, well, what about this? It's always do that to see. Now, in certain stores, you have to know where you can't do that. But if you're at markets, it doesn't matter what they sell. They have refrigerators at markets. They have couches, table and chairs. Like all the furniture I got, when I brought my furniture, I got it at a market, at the Kariakoo. Or Kariakoo is like one of the biggest markets here in Tanzania. And so I brought a stove, a fridge, a washing machine, all that. So all that was negotiable. And so, when they have the different sizes, and they'll tell you each price, and then you can say, well, can you take this for this? Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they might say no, but if it's so many vendors, you can always walk away and be like, okay, and walk away. But sometimes they might say, okay, I give you this for this. Okay, I give you this for this. Just the fact that you will be willing to walk away, and the fact that they know you have money, you have leverage. Your money is leverage. So if you're in a market and they have a bunch of different stores with TVs and technology, things that you need, you don't have to go to the first place and take the price that they offer you instead of walking around comparing prices and trying to negotiate. Yeah, we don't have the patience for that, really. The ones in the West, we don't have the patience for that. We just want to go ahead and buy it and get it done, get it over with. But locals got the patience. They got the patience. They will walk up and down, up and down till they get the right price. We have to be like that. We have to be patient enough to compare. At least go to at least three different vendors that sells the same items. A lot of the prices will be close, but some will be. They won't. They can. They'll. Some will negotiate more with you, work more with you than others. So you have to be willing to. Hold on a second. It's getting hot. You have to be willing to be patient and negotiate for the prices that you desire and for the least price. I mean, the cheapest price for that item. You have to be willing and patient to do that. And so I wish I would have known that when I first arrived, when I brought all my stuff, because I wasn't as aware, but I am now. And I feel like I got a fair price for all the things that I brought for my apartment. I feel like I got a fair price, but I feel like my negotiating skills weren't. I was not aware of what I'm aware of now, so I would have been able to negotiate a little bit more. So I'm trying to share with you that you do have leverage because you have the money. So don't feel like you come to a country and you're a foreigner. They call us a foreigner coming to the different countries, especially on the continent of Africa, and that you are at the mercy of being overcharged by everybody. To a certain extent, you could be, but it does not have to be a devastating type of uh, overcharging situation. It could be a little kidogo, little bit more, but not something that where you got like totally scammed or overcharged or just taken advantage of and stuff like that. It is, even though it would be more than what a local would pay, you do have the choice to spend your money in places and to say no. Two things. It's your money. You have the money. They have the goods. You have the money. So you have leverage to be able to say what you want to pay, to ask questions, to say, I think about it, to walk away, to say no. You have that ability to do those things. So don't feel so helpless. And that's one thing I've learned since being here. Yes, we do get overcharged for the stuff at different times with different people. Even people I've been going to for a long time for certain services or certain, fruit stands that I would go to, they would be charging me a certain amount. And then after I'm going to them for years or whatever, then they just start upping the price on me. That has happened to me. And I was feeling some kind of way because I'm like, you see me here all the time. You see me coming to your fruit stand for over a year and you've been giving me the same price. And then all of a sudden you want to charge me more. And that has happened. But guess what I do? What I have done. Now, if they're the only fruit stand or whatever store in my area, then I might kind of still go to them, but I won't go as much as I did because I have to personally. It's just me. I have to teach them a lesson. Like they have to know that it's not okay what you're doing, and if you don't do stuff, if you don't make a difference or show them something different, then they're gonna keep doing all of us like that. Whenever somebody comes and they speak English, they're gonna start treating all of us like that. So you have to teach them by what you do. So for me, what I would do is I would actually walk an extra uh, not mile, but I would go to another fruit stand and I would literally walk past that fruit stand and go to another one and walk past that fruit stand to go back home and I have a bag. I'll have a bag of fruit, vegetables from another fruit stand. So I'm showing that particular fruit stand that overcharged me that I don't have to purchase items from you. I can go somewhere else and without even like arguing about it, without even, making a big fuss about it. Yeah, I'll mention it. I'll be like, well, I'll say, Kaka, what this was, I'll say the price. Or say, Dada, sister, this was this. What's going on? Well, they'll say, no, no, no. I said, okay. I won't argue. But guess what? I will walk right past and even speak. Mambo, keep on going to the next fruit stand, get what I need, and walk right past and smile and walk. This will show them that they lost a customer, and they could get money from you because you're consistent. You buy from them all the time, and they lost. You have to show them how when you overcharge that you can lose a customer, and that's part of your leverage here living in Africa. So you don't have to always argue and make a big deal out of someone overcharging you. Yes, you bring it to their attention because they need to know that you know, because they think you're not, so for some reason we were born and raised in the West, and we kind of sharp when it comes to stuff. So sometimes you have to make them aware that you know that they overcharge you or think they're not doing right by you. You can make them aware in a nice, respectful way. Make them aware, even though they're doing some shady stuff. But you also can show them by your actions that you missed out on a sale. You missed out on revenue, money, the income that you could have been getting from me, that you was getting from me for a whole year, but you lost it because you're trying to play games. So that's a way that you can use leverage in getting the outcome that you need. Yes, that might inconvenience you. You might have to go to another place. You might have to walk further or get a driver to take you further. So it's gonna inconvenience you a little bit, but it'll be worth it to teach them a lesson, because the more that we allow people to do us like that, then it's going to be worse for the person that comes behind us. There are a lot of us leaving the West and moving to Africa to all the different countries on the continent. So we have to be the examples wherever we go. So when we encounter things like that, we have to call it out. We have to say something, and you have to let them know that we know what you're doing. Not that we have to get disrespectful, loud, boisterous about it. We can do it in a nice way. Like I do mine in a very nice way. When people overcharge me and try to get over on me, and I see that they're doing it, I'll just say, Kaka, no, this. I'll say it just like that. And he's like, no, some of them will be, a little stern, like, well, no, you're not I'm this is the price. And I'm like, okay. Hapana, Asante, no thank you, is what I say. No thank you, smile and leave. And then they'll see me every day walk past with my bags coming from another fruit stand. So you have to do that. That's leverage. And that's in everything that you decide that you want to purchase. That's from a fruit stand, negotiate for clothes. When I go to get dresses, when I go to my sisters, my dadas to look for, outfits or dresses or shoes or jewelry or whatever I buy, it's negotiable. So if I say, I say, Shingapi, how much is that? And if they say a certain price, I always go lower. I say, well, what about this? And they'll say, no, this. I said, oh, okay, no. And they say, okay. So you can negotiate. You do have the leverage because they know you have the money. And if they're not willing to negotiate with you, then they just lost out on the money. You want to argue with me over wanting to overcharge me for a piece of fruit, and you got tons of fruit and your fruit stand is not overcrowded. So you're going to miss out on money because you want to overcharge me. So some people are stubborn. They will. So you got to be willing to be stubborn and walk away and say, well, I'll take my money somewhere else. So that is the encounter. Those are some of the encounters you will have being a foreigner in a land. This is not really a foreign land because this is our home. We're African, but you're coming from the West and you're moving to Africa, and you're considered a foreigner, so you don't always know prices and the systems and all that, but you can learn it. You're teachable. We're all teachable. We can learn anything. You're around a certain, area or a certain country, and you learn how people operate, how they do business. Even in business, you know that things are done differently in terms of business, and even when it comes to, getting your business set up, and even when it comes to buying land and all that stuff, you can negotiate. Because prices are not set when it comes to that. getting this document done and this document done for your business, and getting this, going to tax office and this and that. All that stuff is negotiable. So you got to start brushing up on your negotiation skills. And, just because you don't know the language, that's not an excuse for you to be taken advantage of, to allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Yes, you may be overcharged here and there, but when I say taken advantage of, like you're giving all this money and you're not getting what you paid for, you're being told total bold-faced lies. And it can happen because, it can happen, but just coming in with the mindset of being a negotiator, a financial negotiator, negotiating, having these negotiating strategies in these specific countries, because the negotiating strategies that we use in America won't work here. We negotiate, salaries and about houses and all this different stuff, and it's a different process than here. It's like I feel like in America it's a little bit more regulated, but here it's not regulated. So kind of like anything goes. It's like in a way I want to say kind of lawless society, but it's not. They have their systems set up that work for them. So for us, we would see it as a lawless society, but it's not really lawless when it comes to them because they know how to work it. So it's kind of like that. But you're not so lost. You're not so out like so much of an outsider that you're just oblivious to anything. You do have some way of leveraging what you want. So just keep that in mind. Don't feel like you're just out here like a sheep, with wolves all around you. It's not like that. It's not like that. Sometimes you might feel like that because of the language barrier, but you're not. You still hold the keys because you have the money. They want what you have. They want the money and you have the money. Yes, you want certain services, and yes, you want, your goods and services, you're buying things, but at the end of the day, it's your money and you're spending it. So you do have some power. Don't feel powerless. That's the word I was looking for. You don't feel so powerless when you come and you leave the West and you come to these different foreign countries. Don't feel powerless because you're not. You still have leverage. You always have leverage. You just have to work on your leveraging skills and leveraging strategies. So I'm here for that. And I thought about that. I'm like, that would be a good video to help you to get an idea of how you would need to leverage, use leveraging strategies, negotiation strategies to leverage, your outcome, what you want, what you need, all that. You need skills to do that. And it's workable. You can learn it. It's something that you learn, just like we learn. We're always learning, and we never arrive. It doesn't matter how old we are, we're always learning. I mean, me at this age, I'm learning, like living in Tanzania is like been a whole new world for me. It's like learning everything I've ever known all over again, how to count money, how to negotiate, what this cost is, what the name of this fruit is. It's like, I feel like I'm at, let's see, I think I'm at like maybe elementary school level in understanding how things function here. When I came here, I was like an infant. And then, as you're here, you become a toddler or whatever. And now I think I'm at the elementary school level, maybe fifth grade, fourth, fifth grade, in understanding how things work here. The language and how to negotiate and what power I have. With my little bit of the money that I do have. You do have some power with the income that you have, but you just have to budget. You have to use it wisely. You have to make wise financial decisions. So I try to share what I've learned and what I've experienced with my my clients. And so I'm going to end this video, but I do travel and business consultations. I've been doing more business consultations because I'm noticing that a lot more people want to create businesses and they want to do business here. Yes, they want to you know, travel and visit and all that, but they eventually want to, a lot of them want to do business, and the ones that don't want to do business, then I can still help you with just how to negotiate, like with these skills. I have a lot of videos that are helpful for those who are interested in not only coming to Tanzania, but all across Africa. Some of the skill sets and the tips and pointers that I provide will be helpful for you no matter where you go, especially in Africa. So yeah, hit me up at Diaspora Connect, Diaspora Connect at Diaspora Connect 0 at gmail.com, Diaspora Connect 0 at gmail.com, and I can assist you with a travel business consultation. And I can give you, I give a lot more information outside of just for the travel and business, like stuff like this, how to leverage, how to negotiate. You have to have negotiation strategies in your mind. So whenever you go somewhere to spend money, your money is valuable. You work hard for it. So you want to make sure that you ask questions, you look into you might have to do a comparison. If they say it's the price, this price is for this item that you want, it's this price. Wait, don't be in such a rush to get it. Say, okay, I'll come back. And then you go look around, go to other places and compare. And go to the mall, go here, go there. Oh, they had this for this. This was, I'm going to go back to this place because this was the better price. So just be willing to use these strategies and to hold on to your finances and spend them wisely for whatever services that you decide that you want to get, whatever you want to spend your money on, basically. So diasporaconnect0@gmail.com. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. Share it with someone that you know that may be interested in visiting Tanzania or doing business, or you think these tips or pointers will be helpful if they're coming soon. So just get your mind in a posture that you're not helpless. You're not just being thrown to the wolves and you don't know anything just because you don't know the language. There are apps. This is a smartphone, y'all. Smart. There are apps that you can download to help you with the language, to help you with transportation, to help you with the currency convert. So you have tools at your fingertips. So don't feel no kind of way. If I can do it, you can do it. Came here by myself, and I've been here since then, and I've created a business on my own and doing other things. And so, yeah, you can do it as well. So, but anyway, thank you so much. I'm going to end this video and I'll do another one probably tomorrow. I have another idea of a video that I can share with you, some pointers and tips of how we can manage here, how we can accomplish what we have been sent to accomplish. A lot of us come here with dreams, ideas, calling to do certain things, to set up certain things for our people or for ourselves and for our families. And you can accomplish it. You just have to be smart, use wisdom, connect with the right people, and pray. The Spirit will lead you to the people that you need to connect with and the ideas to help you accomplish the purpose for you, the purpose that you're called to fulfill here in this country. So for the purpose of you coming, you can get that guidance that you need, the ideas and everything. And don't forget, YouTube is a good resource as well. You can use YouTube, get monetized, you can get funds off of that. You can teach on here if you have any skills, skill sets, or if you were trained in any kind of fields in school that you can teach and share on YouTube as well. So that's kind of what it looks like I'm doing, because I have a bachelor's degree in business. And so I'm like, I never considered being a teacher, but now I feel like I'm using those skills, all those skills that I learned when I went to university. I feel like I'm using them here, and I'm able to incorporate them in the different business decisions that I've made, negotiations and all that, all these financial decision making that you have to do here when you want to, leave your home country and come to another land, you have to have a business mindset. And you don't have to have, you know, formal education for that. Some people, we do that in our own households, so you have the natural ability. You've learned that just paying your bills at home, taking care of a family, putting the children in sports and school and paying for a car and house. And, you have those negotiation skills. You have those financial business know-how. Just don't understand how to apply it sometimes when you come to a different land. But it's possible. So I'm here for you. Hit me up at diasporeconnect0@gmail.com. Diasporeconnect0@gmail.com. And I can assist you with the travel business consultation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up. Hit on the notification bell to be notified. So whenever I do a new video, you will get notification. And stay tuned for my next video. Probably do it tomorrow because I've been coming up with having some good ideas. I feel like it's the set apart spirit giving me ideas of how to help you in your endeavor, in your desire to repatriate, do business, visit Tanzania. Yeah. So anyway, bye fam. See you guys in the next video. Salama, peace, and see you guys next time.